What's going on, traders? Welcome back to the channel. Ralphdatrader here, back with another video. Today's video is going to be a short video, you guys. I would just like to review the trade that I took on the Nasdaq on Free Cash Friday. All right, but before we get into the charts, guys, let's go over a couple basic things like we always do. First thing is markets only do three things, guys. No matter what market it is that we're trading, it's only going to do three things. It's either going to break out, pull back, and continue in the trend. Break out, fail, and reverse, or is either going to stay in a trading range. These are the only three things that any market will do. Okay, keep it that simple. Next thing is, as a trader, we must know. We must know the setup that we are hunting. All right, we must know the setup that we have mastered. There's only two setups, guys. It's either a buy setup or a sell setup. Which side are you on? Okay. Now, depending on your level of expertise and what you have mastered, you can choose to do both. Okay, that is up to you as a trader. But I advise you, if you're someone that is struggling, choose one side of the market to trade on for 30 days. Either choose the pump and dump or the dump and pump pattern. Okay, now there is a variation to that, which is the trap and ship. But choose one of those patterns, pump and dump or dump and pump. Okay, this will eliminate a lot of things that you guys are struggling with. Because once you understand and know the pattern that you're looking for, then the trading becomes easy. Knowing the pattern that you're looking for, the trading becomes easy. Okay, now let's get into the charts. Now here you guys can see this is the Nasdaq on the 15-minute time frame. All right. Now, to show you guys the reason behind why I took this trade, but before we get into that, like I always tell you guys, it's just my interpretation of how I see the markets. Okay. The levels that I like to use are the same levels as everyone else. Okay. I'm utilizing the previous day's high, previous day's low, closing price, previous week's high, previous week's low, monthly highs and monthly lows. And I also like to utilize the round numbers, specifically the 50s and the double zeros. And for me, the daily signals that I like to look for are the closing breakout and inside day because those are the ones that are easy to recognize. Okay. You can choose whatever signal day that you prefer to use. Okay. So let's get into the reason why I took this trade. First thing, I need a daily signal. Okay. So on Wednesday, we had a market that closed above a previous day's high. That gave me a closing breakout signal. That is my daily signal. Okay. So the NASDAQ goes on my watch list. It does not mean that I will get a setup. I have to wait until the session opens to get that. Okay. To see if one is going to present itself. So before in the meantime, we have our daily signal of a market that closed in breakout. NASDAQ goes on a watch list. Thursday was a holiday, so we go into Friday. Now, on Friday, when the market opened up during the Asian session, it gave us a daily signal once again where a market breaks out of a previous day's high level. Okay. So just a double whammy. Okay. We got market breaks out of the previous day's high. Now, I'm doing nothing until after 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So to me, none of this matters. Okay. None of this matters. I know that I got my daily signal. Okay. I know longs are driving this market. Okay. I can look and see that, okay, the market is making higher highs and higher lows. Okay. This is basic market structure, you guys. Now, as we get into, as the market starts to approach our session, we can see that, okay, Asian session puts in a high, London session puts in a low, market begins to make higher highs, higher lows. Okay. 9:30 opens up. All right. 9:30 hits the stops, closes back above. All right. Closes back above. All right. Putting in a higher high. 9:45, it begins its dump. Okay. It begins its dump. So 9:45, all right. 9:45 give you an engulfing candle if you're utilizing the 15-minute time frame for your entry. All right. You want to wait until this candle close. And then you had an entry here at 9:45 for about a almost a 40-point move. All right. It's a nail and bell. All right. It's a nail and bell trade. Higher time frame. Buyers are still driving this market. So no need to be trying to hold on to this. You know what I mean? You catch you 40 points. All right. If you take out um micro micro contracts, that's about $240. Okay. All right. That's about $240, depending on what you're trading. But It was a market that gave you a daily signal of a market that closed in breakout. All right. Understanding that higher time frames are still driving the market. Market also gave you a signal on the day. 9:30 hit the stops, pushes up. 9:45 gives you an engulfing candle for it. It's a trap and shift. Okay. They broke out. All right. Then they shift the market back down to the downside. Here's your entry. Like I said, you're just catching what I mean, your 40 points or whatever the case may be. All right. So it's a nice trap and shift. But if you're utilizing a 5 minute time frame like me, all right, and this is what I'm looking at. So once again, the daily signal was a closing breakout. It also gave us a signal on the day. I just waited until see how price is going to behave in the New York session. So this is our 9:35 candle. Like I said, it came down, hit the stops, closing as a dragonfly doji. So this went 1, 2, 3 to the high. Okay, gave us an engulfing, and I took an entry as it broke the 9:45 candle. Right, and this was about a good 70 some point nail and bell trade. Simple as that, guys. That was it. This is a 1, 2, 3 to the high. All right, engulfing for a trade back to the downside, which is still a trap and shift. Okay, it's still a trap and shift on a 5 minute time frame as well. Now, if you're probably looking at a lower time frame, then you have a pump coil dump. But like I said earlier, guys, knowing the setup that you are hunting will make this a lot easier for you guys. Okay, I like to hunt reversals. Okay, that is my thing, to hunt reversals, and I like to look for a closing breakout and inside day signal. So whenever I get one of those signal days, then I'm just waiting to see how price is going to behave when it gets to the New York session. Now, if you're somebody that like to look for long trades, okay, this is not your setup. Okay, this is not your setup because you're looking for the continuation trade. All right, this was a reversal. All right, it was a reversal. All right, it broke out and reversed. Okay, false break reversal. All right, easy trade. 1, 2, 3 to the high with an engulfing candle. All right, and I just took the trade. That was it. So that's all I got for you guys today, man. I hope you guys got value out of this video. If so, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right. But like I always tell you guys, man, work hard, stay disciplined, be patient, and know that your time will come. And be the reason someone smiles today, you guys. Be the reason someone smiles today. Peace and love. Have a good one.